So there's an episode in The Office, and which my favorite character says, Stanley says, "If I can't find a way to relate more positively to my surroundings, I'm going to die." Now, the writers from The Office, they knew what they were talking about when they were writing that script. Through extensive research, I am here today to inform you guys all about how being a pessimistic person can affect your health. So, indeed, your mental health correlates with your physical health, but being a pessimistic person may decrease your time being alive, increase your chances of depression, and sometimes we need a little rain to see the rainbow. Indeed, life sometimes just sucks. And there are moments where we think that the universe is designed to perpetuate your life. And of course, we all go through hardships, but what happens when a negative mindset becomes a permanent one? Well, pessimism happens. And what is pessimism? Well, according to dictionary.com, pessimism is the tendency to see, anticipate, or emphasize only the bad or undesirable outcomes, results, conditions, and problems. I think it's quite comical when people say that your mental health doesn't, affect your physical health, as if your brain isn't part of your body. But I am no doctor, and like I like to say, I am no STEM major. But there is hardcore evidence. In 2008, a couple of Harvard researchers from Harvard University conducted a study with 309 middle-aged men who were going to undergo a coronary artery bypass surgery. These researchers documented these subjects for about 6 months, and they found out that the men who were most pessimistic were most likely to be rehospitalized. Yeah, that makes me want to do laughing gas every day. There was also another research conducted, but this dealt with emotions and infections. So in 2008, a study was done with 193 volunteers who were infected with a common respiratory virus. At the end of the experiment, studies showed that the subjects who were most positive were less likely to develop the viral symptoms. And as we know, humor is a great medicine. So waking up every morning, the first thing I do is I reach for my phone, and as my first task of the day. Well, as I'm scrolling through Instagram, I see a picture of Kim Kardashian, and I'm just like, wow, if only I didn't eat those tacos last night, I would have killer abs like that. And of course, as we know, we are 60% water, and Kim Kardashian is 97.5% plastic. Well, that was a joke. I'm not here to drag Kim Kardashian, but I'm here to talk about the second most important part of your body, aspect, which is your mental health. So having a younger sister who's in her teens, I often do witness her being pessimistic or uncomfortable with her body and her self-image. And as women and men, I believe that, I feel like society tends to create this image of how we're only beautiful if we look a certain way. And this standard formulates a pessimistic outlook on your self-image, which leads to depression. There was a recent study conducted at the University of Pittsburgh where researchers found a correlation between spending more time on social media and negative self-image feedback. A psychologist named Katie Hurley, she states that teenagers can use social media to find community, but their mental health is often negatively affected by comparison. In my perspective, I do believe that social media can be used for positive things, but comparing yourself could create a stigma too, which could affect your mental health. So we all know the iconic lyrics of, Feel the Rain on Your Skin by Natasha Bedingfield. But now that I'm older, that song is a whole lot deeper than just a shower song. Since this is an informative speech, and I'm trying not to be biased, I agree that we should all feel, but I am going to be biased right here, I believe we should all feel the rain on our skin. When I was 17, I experienced my first heartbreak, and I cried like I never cried before, and I was miserable. I felt like I will never like another guy again, and that I needed men repellent. Now that I'm a whole lot older, me and my ex, we laughed at how miserable we were at that moment. Through the information that I acquired from an article that's called The Uses and Abuses of Optimism and Pessimism, the research through that idea is that in some cases, being an optimistic person isn't a good thing. In most cases, these researchers believe that being pessimistic can actually be an effective motivator when you're dealing with life dilemmas. In fact, a professor from the University of Michigan in psychology named Lawrence Sana, he claims that pessimists use this technique as a way to motivate themselves to do the very best job that they can. So doctors do agree that being positive and optimistic and having a positive outlook on your life does lead to good health, but as well researchers believe that you need to have that balance as a pessimistic person. So after listening to my speech, I hope all of you guys go home and listen to some John Mayer, because John Mayer makes me happy. So indeed, I am happy to share all about how being a pessimistic person affects your health, and how your health and your mental health, and how raining on your parade could lead into brighter days. So next time you consider being pessimistic, think about those extra 15 to 40 years you want to live. So thank you, and I hope you guys learned for something new.